And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today we've got this Yamaha Natural Sound Stereo Cassette Deck KX 580. This belongs to the famous George, and apparently we've got erratic operation and a lot of sort of wow and flutter going on. George looks after his kit generally. Incidentally, he's another member of the Sunday Club, but there you go. Tape path is in pretty good condition. I'm not going to say it's pristine, but it's blooming close. So it's not going to be that. So I think it's going to be the belt. So let's get it in bits and just investigate. Case screws, by the way, are a sort of big machine thread thing, and that little one in the back, in the middle there, is a coarse thread self-tapper. Right, there it is. So, what's going on? How is our belt looking? Doesn't look terrible. I think the best thing to do is to plug it in and see how it performs. So this tape was recorded on a calibrated machine. We've got 4 kilohertz and 8 kilohertz, so I'm just going to play the 4 kilohertz side and we'll just listen to it to start with. So workshop amp is, that's on, so there we go. Output, play. Okay, there we go. Powering on, lovely. So let's just have a listen to it. A lot of very unpleasant scratching noises in the left-hand channel. That's very, very noisy indeed. Just going to spin on a bit. In the noise department at all. That is rough. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a commercial tape, which of course will lead to a copyright strike if I'm not careful. I have here, what have I got? Oh, the definitive Simon and Garfunkel. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut you off here, but rest assured I'll be back in a second.
A few moments later.
Right, well, Mrs. Robinson later, and it doesn't sound bad at all. I'm beginning to cast doubts upon my test cassette. It may have been that this has suffered some damage, so I'm just going to rewind the 8 kilohertz side and see what that sounds like. Yeah, the 8 kilohertz sounds much better. It's going straight through my head. I think what we need to do here, I am going to fit a new belt to it anyway, because that's what George has asked me to do. But I think that and a quick service is all this requires. So yeah, let's get into that. First things first, we're going to want to liberate the front. One deck. Ain't she pretty? Right, 2 screws down there. And liberate the deck. Head connector. And there's erase as well, I'd imagine. Oh, bias. Well, bias. There we go. So just that connector there. Lovely. Okay, one deck removed. I'm just going to slide the rest of it out of harm's way for a moment. Put a cloth down just to protect the finish on the front, even though the machine's got a dirty great big gash on the top of it. Right, and you can see we've got the grand total of 1 belt to change. So yeah, let's get it out. Oh, it's gone hard. Yeah, that's probably part of George's problem. And you can see it's got a bit of a shape to it. But thankfully, the lovely people at Deck Tech, nothing other than a satisfied customer, have supplied me with the correct drive belt for the job. Grease on the cam is still very greasy. That's nice. Probably didn't want to wipe that on fingers just as I'm about to play with a rubber belt. Anyway, there we go. So one nice new stretchy belt. This one has lost its stretch. It's gone almost hard. It's not gone completely hard, obviously, but it's well on its way. So that will probably solve our speed stability issues that have been bothering George. Right, I'm going to want a crochet hook here just to hook that around the motor drive. Or I might be able to use a screwdriver. Let's have a little go. It doesn't look too tricky. He said, muffin it up. It's hooking on everything but where I want it. There we go. Just get it into a sort of position. Go past that post. Onto the motor pulley. Onto the flywheel. Make sure we're in the right place on the pulley. We are not. Too far over the other way now. There we go. Run it around a couple of times, make sure it's seated properly. It is. That's good. Well done, Deck Tech. That was just the job. Right. Okay. Now we've got to do is put it back together. But I think I'm having a cup of tea first. Right, that's got it back up together. Next thing we want to do is just check the azimuth alignment. Take the door off the front, because hopefully we can get at the screws, but it may not need adjustment. So next thing to do is to hook your output leads up left and right to the sockets, plug it in. Right, so I just want to put an adapter in there. And connect my left and right channels to 2 channels of the oscilloscope. Okay, I want to then go into mode, which, bear with me 1 second while I remember how on earth this works. Display, type, vectors, and I want X and Y. That's YT, X to Y. So I'll just move the scope cam in a bit. Look, there you go. Horrible glare, but you can just about see that. Let me turn the workshop light down a bit. There we go. So you can see that's there. I'm going to pop in a test tape, hit play, and we should see a straight line. Let me turn some volts down a bit. There we go. Now that is a liciduous figure, and that, if the playback is aligned properly, should be a straight line. I don't think that's too far out. We will have a little bit of movement in there. So let me just get an appropriate adjusting screwdriver and make a very small alignment adjustment to the head. It's not going to want much. That was nearly it. That's pretty damn close, to be honest. I'm calling that. That's perfectly good enough. So yeah. So yeah, you're just looking for that 45-degree angle there. And yeah, that's pretty much does for this one, which is great news. So there we go. That can go back to George, and hopefully it'll go on for many more years now of good service. Anyway, there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and I'll see you really soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. Cheers now. Bye.